Jeff, what is the latest with Dak and the Cowboys in that contract situation?
I wish I could tell you that the latest involves anything other than nothing, but there is nothing to report right now on Dak Prescott. And it's frustrating, surely, to some Cowboys fans, but we can point out there are two other quarterbacks that still have potential deals to be done this summer. That is Jordan Love and that is Tua Tagovailoa. Now, we've already seen Jared Goff set some of the framework in place for a big deal, upwards of $50 million a year. But now the question is, what will happen with Tua Tagovailoa and Jordan Love's deal? Perhaps that can instigate some movement with Dak Prescott, or perhaps not, because like you said, Dak is the one with all of the leverage right now.
Marcus looked like he smelled some stinky cheese or something. Dak appears to hold all the cards here. How do you see this situation playing out between him and the Cowboys?
If I'm Dallas, I have a sense of urgency to get that deal done, obviously. And, whether they're waiting on those two to get done with Tua or Jordan Love, I'm still trying to call him and beat down the door every day to try to figure out how much it's going to take him. And listen, here's the problem. Dak has literally zero incentive to sign a new contract with the Cowboys, other than the fact that he just wants to stay and have the rest of his career be in Dallas. Because to your point, we showed that graphic. He holds all the cards. And Boogie, I'm going to throw this out there in the air as well. And I can't wait to hear what Tim says about this. Dak Prescott's situation may affect how some other teams deal with their quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That should raise an eyebrow for a lot of people. And I know Jeff is talking about the contract with Tua. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. I think they're going to get done. Don't quote me on saying they're going to wait to see what happens with Dak Prescott. But for teams to know that Dak Prescott could be sitting out there free to go wherever he wants to go, to sign wherever he wants to sign, if you do have questions about your quarterback this particular year, and you know that Dak Prescott may be in play for you, it is absolutely going to determine how you deal with the guy that you may be thinking about signing long term in your own organization.
Yeah, Marcus, that's a good point in terms of how the other teams view it. It's also something to consider if you're the Dallas Cowboys, right? Like the reality is, like he's got all this leverage, and you've got to, you want to extend him, but it's not going to be cheap because of the situation you've put yourself in. Okay, well, he might become available to the rest of the league that is in need of a quarterback. Well, where are you going? What are you doing if you're the Dallas Cowboys and he's not your guy? Because you're going to be too good to be drafting at the top. So be careful where how much you want to play this out.
Another point to where Dak just holds all the leverage, right? Because as Tim's saying, who's going to get to play quarterback and cowboy? Tim, how big of a deal is it that CD is not at OTAs?
For this time of year, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Look, he knows the offense. He'll come in. He's got great chemistry with Dak Prescott. He needs to, the holdout isn't going to be something that he's going to want to stomach. And the reality, too, is that we'll probably catch over 100 balls this year. And so with that being the case, I think they'll be fine. This time of year is not the big story. The big story will end up being, all right, does he have a great year, and are they able to re-sign him?
Yeah, I agree with you, Tim. I think this is going to get done before the season starts. To what we just talked about, it has a little bit to do with Dak Prescott. You at least want to have a number one wide receiver on your roster when you may be losing your quarterback after this year. If I'm Dallas, look, like I said about Dak, I'm trying every day, figure out how we can get a deal done. But with CeeDee Lamb, I think it's just the timing and the technicality. They have to re-sign CeeDee Lamb. You mean to tell me you could potentially go into a season, if you Dallas, potentially losing CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott? Out of your mind if you think that's going to happen. They will at least get the receiver locked up and try to figure out Dak Prescott's situation.
Swag, quickly, since you threw it out into the air earlier, which teams could potentially be interested in Dak? Who would you say? Some of these that maybe don't want to re-sign their quarterback, or maybe some that don't have a quarterback, like the Raiders. I'm just throwing some names out.
Las Vegas, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, I know that it's, we thinking about it, and Jeff is one of the best in the business. I'm sure he'll do some digging, and people will hear this if no contract is done before the season starts. But if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, it's a no-brainer. I'm already putting my plan together to get the planes loaded and gassed up when the season comes to an end next year.